Hey, I want to welcome everybody. I'm Mark Dannenberg, and this is the Options Moneymaker 2018 performance review. So we've invited you to come and share in what we did during 2018 and also how we're going to use that information and that look back period to forecast out for 2019. So I have some things to share with you about that, some things that I think are really important for each of you as traders. So just before we get moving too far here, Erin, I just want to double check. We've got good sound?
Absolutely, yes.
All right, thank you for that.
Mark, are you still there?
All right, sorry about that. You okay, Erin?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Sorry about that little glitch. All right, so most of you should be familiar with me. I'm Mark Dannenberg. I am the founder and CEO of Options Moneymaker. I founded this company for the purpose of teaching, motivating, and inspiring traders, or anybody who has a desire to trade, to achieve financial and lifestyle freedom. So that's my definition of financial lifestyle freedom, and using trading to accomplish that. I have over 30 years of experience as a futures and options trader, and along with my team, Michael and Aaron, we've created a range of services to teach all levels of traders, whether you're brand new, you've never traded before, or whether you have extensive experience as a trader. Michael Kastner is our lead host of the live trading rooms. That's the Profit Optimizer room as well as the full day live trading room, where our members can observe trades that are being placed and can learn how to identify entry and exit signals using key charting tools. Michael's an expert in options and futures trading. He's been trading for about as long as I have, and he's well versed in our AO and Able Trend strategies. So when people sign into the live trading room and access that room on a daily basis, they're really accessing a wealth of knowledge that Michael has. And then Erin is also one of our expert AO entry exit strategy traders, and she's also co-host of the live trading room. Most days you'll hear Michael and Erin together in the live trading room looking for those good entry and exit signals, and also providing just a ton of education. Now, Erin also provides excellent opportunities for both new and experienced traders through the Profit Builder Plus education program, as well as her daily market reviews. So Michael, Erin, glad to have you here tonight.
Thanks, Mark. Hello,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks, Mark. Hello.
All right, so tonight I'm going to be sharing the 2018 performance of each of the services that we offer here at Options Moneymaker, along with a simplified 2019 forecast. Now, I do this as an exercise for myself personally, and I do it as an exercise for my business, but I'm also sharing with you a very simple way that I think each of you as traders should be viewing your business, your trading business. The new year, 2019, it's a great time to assess your trading performance. A 12-month look back anytime is a great opportunity to do an evaluation, and I think they're particularly valuable so that you avoid emotional highs and lows from day to day. So the beginning of a new year is a great time, fresh time to reassess, look back, and find out what worked, what didn't work. And also, if you really are serious about doing a 12-month look back, you can do that anytime during the year. Just look back 12 months and see how your trading and performance is progressing. It's also a great time to set new goals when you start a new year. Adjust your trading based on what you learned during 2018. There's hardly a year that goes by for traders, or hardly a month that goes by that you don't find some valuable piece of information that helps you learn how to be a better trader, especially if you're taking part in our live trading room and you listen in as Michael and Aaron are talking throughout the day, identifying signals and helping many of our members learn how to benefit from those. It's a great time also to plan expenses for your trading business. Now, you're going to hear me refer to trading as a business because I believe it absolutely is a small business for each individual trader who's serious about their trading. It's one of the simplest businesses that you could ever own, but you have expenses for your trading business. So it's a great time to plan for those expenses, to learn more and grow your knowledge base. The more you learn, the more you grow that knowledge base, the more effective you can be as a trader. And it's also, at the beginning of the new year, it's a great time to structure your money management to generate profits. Set aside some at predetermined times for yourself as a payday and grow your trading capital. So I know a lot of traders that I've spoken to have kind of a random approach to their trading. They just show up every day and they trade. They don't really have any kind of design around what they want to accomplish, when they intend to withdraw money, and how much they want to leave in their account to continue to grow their trading capital. Now, for me, the whole objective of trading is to be able to withdraw money and use that for the things that I desire. So it's a great time to really do a complete assessment, the beginning of a new year, and decide how you want to proceed in the new year as a trader. Trading is a business, and it should be managed proactively. So some of the questions that you should be asking yourself, and be fair and honest with yourself because it is effectively your business. What worked well during 2018? And what did you learn during 2018? That really helps to reinforce what you did well. It reinforces what you learned. It helps you consciously acknowledge the progress you made in your own understanding of trading. But you should also be asking yourself what did not work well, and do an assessment of why didn't that work well. Was it because you had too much risk out there? Was it because you didn't have the knowledge to do what you're doing? Was it because you know that you need to kind of advance your understanding of how to adjust to certain markets? Whatever it might be, you've got to do a realistic, honest, fair assessment of yourself. What did not work well and why? Because that's the beginning of being able to modify and adjust so that you can make those issues that perhaps you dealt with in the prior year go away. Adjust for them so that you can continue to advance your business. And then also, what's a realistic forecast based on your knowledge and capital? Now, capital risk is a very important part of being successful, managing your risk effectively. If you sabotage yourself by risking your entire account in the first few days or first month or whatever of your trading, that accomplishes nothing. This is not a process of earning quickly. This is really about making a commitment to succeed long term. That's really what we would like to see you accomplish. Some people who trade are gamblers. They really should be spending more time in Vegas or Atlantic City. Most of them are traders who are committed to long-term success. And trading for long-term success means that you have to do some sort of an evaluation on a regular basis, and the beginning of a new year is a great time to do that. Now, most businesses will grow through three key activities. One is adding new tools, and in our case, that would be a live trading room, charts, strategies. A second way that most businesses will grow is increasing revenue from new sales. And I'm going to talk later in tonight's presentation about scaling the size of your trade as your account grows. And then expanding knowledge of your market, and that's all about continuous learning. If I go back to increasing revenue from new sales just for a minute, there are so many opportunities, particularly with trading, for you not to do a single additional unit of work, but you can exponentially increase your income because your knowledge base has grown and your understanding and confidence has grown that you can add to the size of your trade and allow yourself to actually scale up and make more money than you were making by doing the same work in the prior year. We'll talk more about that later on in the presentation. So in general, during 2018, some comments for you about us, about Options Moneymaker. Now, our services have evolved over the last several years to where in 2018 they really evolved into a balance of four focus items. One is a focus on short-term active traders. That means you've got a lot of time during the day to devote to trading. You're a very active trader, and we take rapid-fire, very short-term trades throughout the day in the live trading room. Those trades can be held for less than a minute, or a few minutes, or an hour, or whatever, but these are not long-term trades. A second area of focus is a long-term casual trader who has a desire to grow their account over a long period of time. These are people who don't have a lot of time to focus on trading. They don't have a lot of time to devote to it during the day. They have a lot of other responsibilities in their life that prevent them from doing that, but they'd like to participate and find a way to grow their account. A third focus area for us has been those that same level of trader who has a limited amount of time but would like to spend some amount of time most days being actively involved in the market, and really start to learn how trading options could be part of their future. So for those who have a limited amount of time availability, we have a focused service for that. And then for people who are maybe just beginning, have never really learned how to trade options, never really learned how to trade futures, or people who are wanting to expand from their basic knowledge that they have, we have beginning and expanding education programs that we focus on. So those are the four areas that we've really evolved into during 2018. Now, we've placed a strong emphasis during 2018 on real-time live trading opportunities. Real-time live trading opportunities. It is by far the most effective way for you to grow your trading account and to really earn the type of profits and use the type of leverage that is available to options and futures traders. We learn and trade in real time. And we teach and trade in real time, and we offer opportunities for you to learn along with our trades and to trade in real time in our live trading rooms. We have two live trading rooms, one short-term, first thing in the morning, and then one full day. What we offer is ideal for full-time active traders, but if you are a more casual trader, you don't have a lot of time, but you would say to me, I could probably sign in to the live trading room for maybe 30 minutes, maybe even up to an hour sometime during the day. The live trading room and the real-time trading opportunities are still ideal for you because there's a structure for learning. You can pop in, you can ask questions, you can continue to expand your knowledge. You could listen in and perhaps follow along on one or even a few trades and then move on with the rest of your day. I was chatting with a client here recently who was saying that he has a limited amount of time, he has a business, and he has a limited amount of time to sign into the live trading room, but when he does, he's effectively taking maybe one or two trades, following right along, learning as he goes, and so he's making use of the live trading room even though he's not what I would classify as a full-time active trader. Minimal amount of time during the day, it's still a very effective opportunity. That's where we've placed a lot of emphasis because the real-time access to a team of coaches, primarily Aaron and Michael every day, and periodically I'm in the room also, That is probably one of the most valuable ways that somebody is going to grow their knowledge base, is having that real-time opportunity to see something that just happened, see it in action, hear the coaches talk about it, and be able to ask a question to really reinforce and plant that knowledge in your core understanding of trading. So just another general comment about 2018, the VIX, which is the S&P 500 Volatility Index, actually had a range during that 12-month period from 50.3, which we hit on February 6th, to a low of 10.17, which we hit on August 9th. So the majority of the year traded below a 25 volatility level. I'm presenting this and sharing this because I get a lot of questions, or sometimes not even a question, but a comment from traders who say, well, I guess with low volatility, we can't really be very successful. It's an assumption that they're making. It's actually a story that they're telling themselves. Or the reverse. I guess with high volatility, we should stay away because it will be more risky. My message to anybody who has a desire to trade is there is opportunity in both high and low volatility markets. And we do the absolute best we can to adjust when we see volatility adjusting. And if we need to slightly tweak a strategy, we share that almost immediately in real time with our live trading room members. So the key success factors for trading are knowledge, first of all. It's so important that you learn the strategies that you're going to be working with, whether they're options trading strategies or futures strategies. And it's also important to learn chart patterns. Capital management is extremely critical, because if you don't manage your risk, if you don't manage your capital effectively, then your business could be shut down. Your trading business could be shut down before you've ever really launched it, before you ever really had an opportunity to prove to yourself what you could accomplish. It's so important that you manage your risk in line with your account size. And I'm just going to interject here. We say this frequently in the training that we provide, but it is highly advised that when you are relatively new to trading, that you trade in a simulated or virtual environment for 30 to 90 days. That means you're not trading live money. You're going to learn a ton of very valuable information, and you're not putting your real money at risk. After you've given yourself a level of confidence and you have a base level of knowledge and understanding, then you commit real money to it. But then you're doing it on the basis of having a foundation of knowledge and understanding about what you're doing. The third thing that I think is a key success factor for traders is having a strong commitment to a process of learning and evaluation. So what we're talking about here this evening is the evaluation process, doing a 12-month look back and saying, here's what worked, here's what didn't work, here's how I'm going to adjust, here's how I'm going to continue to grow my income, how I'm going to continue to grow my knowledge base, and continue to grow my account. This should be a proactive process. It should be a conscious process. It shouldn't just be something left to the wind, okay? So the fourth key success factor is patience. Trading should absolutely be a journey and not an emotional sprint. If you jump into trading and you are trading live capital in your first few days or your first week, then I think that that's probably the first mistake that you've made. And I have a lot of traders that will do that because they just don't have the patience to discipline themselves to gain the knowledge and gain the understanding that they need in order to be successful. We are all about wanting our community of traders to succeed long term. If I came to you and I said, hey, if you do this in the next 30 days, you can make $1 billion, that might sound really enticing to a lot of people, but that's not sustainable. What we're looking for is an ongoing, sustainable approach that can become part of your lifestyle. It may be your entire livelihood at some point if you choose, or it may be a supplemental livelihood in addition to whatever else you do in your life. Bottom line is patience is an extremely important part of the trading journey. So those same key success factors that we just talked about are actually what drove excellent overall results for us in 2018. And I'm going to get into the specifics of how each of our services performed. The ones that we're focusing on here are the core programs, our Profit Builder Plus program, which is a core options education program, the Profit Optimizer program and service, which is for minimal time traders, the Freedom 5 program, which is for more casual traders, long-term account growth, our live trading room options and futures trading, and then our futures trading focused on the AO entry exit strategy that we released late in 2018. So let's start with Profit Builder Plus. This is Erin's program. Erin facilitates Profit Builder Plus. She does an excellent job. She provides all of the teaching. She provides a daily market review for members of the Profit Builder Plus program, but it's designed to be a comprehensive options trading education program. And it was designed to teach you how to think like a trader. I don't know anybody else out there, and there are a lot of people who teach about options, but I don't know anybody else out there that really focuses on that objective of wanting you to learn how to think like a trader. I don't want to just give you a strategy and tell you to replicate the strategy over and over again, and when something shifts in the market, you don't know what to do. We want you to learn the strategy, and we want you to learn how to think about how to implement that in the market. The Profit Builder Plus program focuses on different types of options spreads primarily. Erin goes through debit spreads and credit spreads, iron condors, even a unique version of an iron condor, and straddles and strangles. Those are the core spread strategies that we use on options trading. And then she also teaches technical entry and exit patterns. And this is particularly good for people who may just be starting out, need a basic understanding. She gets into more than just the basics, but it's a great place to start. So this Profit Builder Plus program was released in May of 2018. And from May through December, actually the first trade took place on May 24th, the return on the maximum risk capital was 50.39%. So I want to be very clear here that the performance that we track here is not intended to be the entirety of your trading with Profit Builder Plus. What Erin does is she identifies good trades that reinforce an understanding of the strategies that were taught during the Profit Builder Plus education program. So each trade was intended to say, here's how this trade is structured. This is why we chose this trade, which she covers in her daily reviews. And if this trade has a challenge, this is how we handle that. And then here's an opportunity to exit that trade, and here's how we are doing that and locking in the profit. So all of these trades that we track, that Erin tracks, are intended to be a reinforcement of the learning and the education program. The maximum risk that we held on any single position, and these are all live trades, these are not hypothetical trades for us. Everything we do is in a live cash account. The maximum risk on any single position was just $1,134. And the profit, based on that minimum trade size, was $571.42. So, you know, the numbers are nice. They're kind of low when I think in terms of what I would like to achieve overall as a trader, as a full-time trader. But here's the really important thing, and you're going to find this is consistent across all of our programs. This is all scalable to your personal account size and your personal risk tolerance. So where Aaron, as a demonstration of the strategy, might be trading 1 or 2 contracts, someone in our community might be trading 5 contracts or 10 contracts or 20 contracts, whatever they have decided they are comfortable with in terms of their own personal knowledge base and their risk tolerance and the account size that they're trading. So bottom line here is 50% plus return on pretty low capital risk, and that's all scalable. So we're pretty happy with how that turned out, and we expect to continue that during 2019. Profit Optimizer, second service. Now this was the second year, 2018 was the second year we've had the Profit Optimizer service. It's an options trading focused live trading service for traders who have a minimal amount of time. And it is dedicated to the first 15 minutes of the market day. The first 15 minutes of the market day, so 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time is when the market opens. We have a live webinar session open, and we are looking for a trade, an options trade, on the S&P 500. It is our intention to open and close that S&P 500 options trade within that 15-minute session. There are exceptions where the trade may linger beyond the 15-minute session, and when that occurs, we send out an alert to our smartphone app and advise that the position's been closed. But the vast majority of the positions are actually opened and closed within that first 15 minutes of the market day. So it allows someone who doesn't have a lot of time to set aside that 15 minutes, sign in to the room, listen in as Michael is guiding our community to opening a trade and closing the trade, and he calls out exactly what the strike is, what the expiration is, what the entry price is, and what he's set as a closing price to both close for profit or to close for a loss so that we protect our capital. Now, in this service, we also, in addition to wanting to focus on a minimum amount of time, we want to focus on a minimum amount of risk. So we've designed this service where we use a $2,000 capital commitment on each trade. And that same $2,000 of capital is then recycled every day. So if we make a profit on Monday, we're using the same $2,000 on Tuesday. If we make a profit on Tuesday, etc., that same $2,000 rolls forward. There are going to be no trade days, and there are going to be losing days, but we're not focused on one day to the next. We're focused on the big picture. So from January through December of 2018, the Profit Optimizer service scored a 317% return on maximum risk capital. It is our intention to have no more than $2,000 of capital commitment. We actually ended up a few times during the year at 2,100. 2,100 was the maximum amount of risk that we ever had on at one time for a trade. And again, the same capital is recycled day to day. So our profit, based on maximum risk of $2,100, was $6,660 for 2018. So when you think about that, again, that's a scalable amount. You could decide to trade a risk level of 4,000 or 6,000 or whatever you're comfortable with. That is a scalable amount depending on your personal account size and risk tolerance. But when you think about an investment of 15 minutes of time using $2,000 of capital, leveraging $2,000 of capital, and allowing you to make 317% return on that, that seems like a very, very sound investment of time. So that's the way we've designed it, and we're pretty pleased with how Profit Optimizer performed during 2018. Freedom 5, third service. It was released in January of 2018. It's designed to be a long-term guided 5-year account growth program. Long-term guided 5-year account growth program. So 5 years. We start with a $10,000 capital base so that we limit our risk. We don't support using huge amounts of capital and exposing ourselves to huge losses. We like to start each of our programs with what we consider to be a reasonable and or small amount of capital, and then leverage from there by both compounding as well as recycling our capital. So the intention with the Freedom 5 program is to start with $10,000 of capital and then leverage profits from options trading on indexes, the major cash indexes like S&P 500, the Russell 2000, the NASDAQ 100, and also on ETFs like IWM, the Qs, SPY, DIA, and then also a handful of stocks that we did during 2018. And we send out an alert, and you get to follow along with the smartphone app alerts. We send that out just as soon as we have placed the position, and we tell you exactly what the position is or what action that we're going to take. So this is a little disappointing to me. January through December performance, we're actually down $9,781. Now, the first reaction of inexperienced people is, oh my God, you lost everything. Well, first of all, we never risk everything. So there's always off to the side backup capital if we decide to continue the program, which we did. So what we did for 2019 is we reset and added $5,000 to the account. And then this is one of those questions that we had to ask and say, well, what didn't work and why is that? So we had several conversations, we did a lot of analysis, and we went back to what we needed to change, and we're making adjustments for 2019 to get the Freedom 5 program back on track. And we'll also be applying the AO entry exit strategy to our position selection. And you'll see here in just a moment why that could potentially be so powerful as it's applied to the Freedom 5 program. So disappointed in Freedom 5 for the year, but we're not done. And I just want to pause here for a minute because it's so easy to very categorically put everything in a black and white, it was good or it was bad category. And I'm just not a big fan of that. So that's my personal bias. But Freedom 5 failed to perform in the first year of what is a 5-year plan. That does not mean we will not achieve our 5-year objective. I can't guarantee that we will achieve our 5-year objective, but I have a plan, I have a goal. Like any business, my personal trading business, I have an objective out there, a stated objective, and that's what we're striving for. Now, some people at the end of 2018 decided to abandon the program, and I have no judgment of that. That is their prerogative. They decided to exit their business. They exited their trading business. And that just means that they decided that they didn't want to move forward. Maybe the $10,000 was too much for them. That should have been a decision at the beginning of the program, not at the end of the program. Most have chosen to continue, and in the conversations I've had with many, I've learned that they really are committed to the goal. And that's very exciting for me because I'm digging in here and have a full commitment to doing everything I possibly can to help this program succeed. You know, a failure is nothing more than an opportunity to revise your strategy. If you narrow that down to a much smaller window, if you sat in our live trading room throughout any given day, you would hear us call out some losing trades and a lot of winning trades. But we don't get bogged down in the losing trades. We know that we need to take a loss. We know that we need to just move forward, and the next trade, the next day, the next week, whatever, might be, you know, the bigger win than we've ever had. We're not trying to assign our emotions to each trade. We just can't do that. And frankly, you'll never be successful if you do that. It's a little more magnified when you look at it on a year basis. And so that's why I personally am disappointed that we stumbled in the first year of a 5-year plan. But I created this as a 5-year objective. I'm doing it personally in my account, and my intention is to move forward. And then the last services were our live trading room. Now we're in the 3rd year of our live trading room. We've gone through an evolution in the live trading room, really trying to make it as robust and beneficial for as many people as possible. It is a full market day live trading session where we're providing education and real-time trade entry exit guidance for options and futures traders. You're going to hear Michael call out options trades that he likes to take on S&P 500 or the Russell or SPY, one of the ETFs. There are a couple of stocks he likes to trade. You're going to hear Aaron talking about futures trades. And between the two of them, they're providing a framework for being able to follow along, have a have some confidence that there's someone else kind of helping you move through the market that day, and you get to access them as a team of experienced traders who are available to answer your questions, and that by itself is going to assist in expanding your knowledge and understanding of trading. No question is too simple for us. We have new people joining the live trading room all the time. So someone who's been in the trading room with us for 3 years might know a tremendous amount, and someone who might have just joined might be asking a question that has been answered 100 times over the last 3 years. It doesn't matter. We're going to answer it for the 101st time, because our objective is to try to help each individual as much as we can. And then as part, kind of a subset of the live trading room, the AO entry exit strategy is a technical approach to identifying when to enter a trade and when to exit a trade. And this was released in September of 2018. So we had a busy year, you know, Profit Builder Plus and AO exit entry strategy, September 2018. It was introduced to the live trading room as an advanced trade entry exit approach to trading. Now, the really cool thing about the AO entry exit strategy is it can apply to options trading, it could apply to stock trading, it applies to futures trading, it can apply to most any vehicle you want to trade. The AO signals are identified throughout the market day. Erin is primarily focused on the AO signals during the live trading room. She's going to call out when there is a signal that she's going to take. She's trading in a live account, and what she's trading is the NASDAQ 100 futures. So we've identified NQ, which is the symbol for the NASDAQ 100 futures, as the trade that we want to track. So we're using the AO entry exit strategy, and we're using those trades on the NASDAQ 100 futures trades. And we post performance of our NASDAQ 100 futures trades on a daily basis, trade by trade, on the Options Moneymaker website. Post those daily. And those access to that is not limited to just our client base. Anybody who has an interest in reviewing our performance, looking at it, we post winning days, winning trades, we post losing trades, we post losing days. All of it is out there. It's full disclosure. And so Aaron handles all that. And we're pretty happy with the way the AO entry exit strategy has performed. From September through December, we managed to earn $66,275. $66,275 from September through December. Now, that's a big number, but I want to make sure you're really clear. That only required a commitment of one NQ contract per trade, and with the futures broker that we use, the amount of capital that you have to have available in order to trade that one contract is $500. Now, you have to have a little bigger account size, but you only have to commit $500 of capital. You have to have that amount available in order to place the trade. So each trade required $500, and we recycle that. So that $66,275 was achieved trading just one single contract on NQ. Now, we averaged over the 4 months 43.6 points of profit per day, and each 1 point of profit on NQ is worth $20. So that's 43.6 times $20. We averaged that per day, and there were about 20 trading days in a month. Now, there's a separate number that I want to share with you here too, because I don't like to ever be accused of inflating performance results. I just choose not to do that. I would rather be conservative in it. So we had 4 months of trading, but October was a huge, a stellar month for us. I mean, it was just phenomenal, and we'll have another month like that, probably maybe 1 or 2 months like that during 2019. But what I did was I went and I backed out the October number because it was really a big number, and I said, what does September and November and December look like? Well, where the 4 months averaged 43.6 points of profit per day, the 3 months averaged 27.36 points, and that's on the smaller 3 months. But even at 27.36 points, trading one contract, that's about $10,944 per month of profit. So any way you slice it, it's really a great number. So I think you can understand why we're pretty excited about the AO entry exit strategy, and why when I talk about Freedom 5, I'm excited about applying the same level of knowledge that we created, the three of us as a team created on this AO entry exit strategy, applying that same level of knowledge and understanding to the Freedom 5 program. And again, the AO entry exit strategy, trading futures or options, is all scalable to your personal account size and, of course, to your own personal risk tolerance. It's accessible to limited time traders also. As I mentioned before, if you were part of the live trading room, but you can't sit there all day, you can't devote your entire day to trading, but you had a little bit of time during the day, you can pop in and access perhaps 1 or 2 trades. So where I shared with you that we made 27.36 points on a daily average for 3 months, just 5 points per day for a limited time trader averages about $26,000 per year. So for a fairly small investment of time, averaging 5 points per day, you can add about $26,000 a year to your income, and that's based on one contract. And again, it's so important to understand the scalability of this opportunity here, because as your knowledge base grows, so will your ability to increase your income. So the summary for 2018 is Profit Optimizer, $6,660, and that was on a $2,000 capital commitment. Profit Builder, we made $571. Again, this is not intended to be a active trading service. It's intended to reinforce the knowledge that you've learned during the knowledge that you've gained during the Profit Builder Plus program. And we usually recommend that when you're just starting out, that you start out with a $5,000 account. So that's the capital that I would expect somebody would need to have available. You can start with less than that, but that's our recommendation, so I'm putting 5,000 out there. We've already talked about, we lost Freedom 5, January through December. We started with $10,000 there. And then, of course, we had a big win on our new AO entry exit strategy, trading NQ futures September through December. And I have 3,000 out here because with the futures broker that we use and recommend, you have to have an account. To open an account, you have to have $3,000. You're only using 500 of that to open each trade, but you have to have a $3,000 account. So if you look at it that way, and you can run the numbers differently if you choose to, but I'm looking at it as during 2018, we managed to achieve a $63,725 profit, and we would have had approximately $20,000 of capital scattered across 4 different services in order to be able to achieve that $63,000 of profit. So that's a 318% return on the capital that we needed to have available. Now, not everybody is in every one of the programs. We have a lot of people that are in our live trading room, and that includes the Profit Optimizer. It includes Freedom 5. It includes the AO strategy, but they may not be participating in the Profit Builder Plus. We have people who've started out with Profit Builder Plus and then added Profit Optimizer. So there's a variety of ways that you can combine and slice this. I wanted to show you the 4 services that we really evolved into promoting primarily during 2018 to help you as a trading community and help our traders be as successful as possible, and what the capital requirement was associated with each of those. So if you're thinking about moving forward and doing something with your own trading, this can give you a framework of how much capital is needed to get started versus what the earning opportunity is. So the next step for me, and this is all about structuring your business, planning your business, and doing a forecast. I don't want to go through a 12-month period and just blindly trade and accumulate and lose and accumulate and lose, and then I don't really know where I am because I don't really know where I was headed. So this is a very, very simple forecast for our services for 2019. Profit Optimizer, we're forecasting that we will earn $10,000 for Profit Optimizer. Now, forecasts, if any of you have been involved in doing forecasts before, maybe for a business you own or a business company that you work for, they're not guarantees, but they are based on a reasonable assumption based on historic run rates and past experience, and then some projected assumptions going forward. So we anticipate that it would be reasonable for us to earn $10,000 through our Profit Optimizer program, but we're going to accomplish most of that by increasing our capital commitment from $2,000 to $3,000. Now, you don't have to do that. You each have to make your own choice about how much your capital commitment should be. We will continue to call out the trades, and you might choose to trade 2 contracts on a trade that we trade 3 contracts. That's okay. We're going to increase to $3,000. One of the reasons we're going to increase is because it is a way for us to access that scalability that I've been talking about. This 2018 was the second full year for Profit Optimizer. It was the second full year of success for Profit Optimizer, and we feel like we are we're experiencing a very good stride in terms of achieving another year of success. So we're comfortable increasing our capital commitment, but it's only $1,000. It's not a huge amount. We're not going to take it from $2,000 to $20,000. We're just increasing it by $1,000. So we think $10,000 is a reasonable amount. The second reason we're going to increase it is because we are in a period now of some increasing volatility, and as volatility increases, we encounter a situation with higher option prices. We've had a few days, a handful of days towards the end of last year, where we took a no trade day because the price of the option was such that it was more expensive to trade 1 contract than our $2,000 capital commitment allowed. So for those reasons, we're increasing. It's the scalability opportunity, as well as the current market situation just says we probably would be wise to do that. Profit Builder Plus is going to continue to be a core education program for us. We expect about $2,500 of profit off of that program. Again, I really want to emphasize Profit Builder Plus is not intended to be an active trading service. It's intended to just reinforce the education that you've gained through the Profit Builder Plus program. and use those trade alerts as examples of what you should be identifying on your own. So the prior return was a partial year. It also didn't account for some other things that we think will allow us to increase our return, Profit Builder Plus. So we anticipate about a $2,500 profit for 2019. Freedom 5, when I consider applying the AO strategies, having reset the account to $5,000, I'm looking for $25,000 from Freedom 5 program. That would get us back on track on our 5-year goal. Still might not hit the 5-year ultimate objective that we set out there, but that would start moving us forward after an initial setback with year 1. So I'm pretty confident with the AO strategies, as you can see from trading them on the NQ futures that we shared with you. But 25,000 is the forecasted goal for 2019. And then 120,000 on our NQ futures 1 contract trades with a $3,000 account. That just seems like a huge number, and if you hadn't participated in a live trading room, or if you hadn't seen the types of returns that we're earning, or if you hadn't followed our spreadsheet online, or if you hadn't heard the first part of this presentation, you might think, you know, that's such pie in the sky. I can't even believe it. But the reality is, we start with a $3,000 account, and in 4 months we made $66,000. So 120,000 is actually using a 25-point per day goal, 25 points per day on 1 contract, and that assumes 20 trading days over the course of the month. So that's about 120,000. So we're projecting about 120,000. It could be more than that, it could be less than that, but 120,000 in terms of a forecast, and having done, you know, in my Fortune 500 days of leading large divisions, that's a very doable forecast, in my opinion, because it requires an assessment of me as the business owner to say, is that realistic, or is that just a unrealistic goal? I think that's very realistic. So that gives us a total forecast for 2019 on these 4 services combined, about $157,500. And the total initial capital that is required in order to partake in each of those services is $16,000. So $3,000 for Profit Optimizer, $5,000 for Profit Builder, $5,000 that we reset in the Freedom 5 program, and then $3,000 minimum account size for futures trading. All the services benefit from strong leverage of capital recycling, and that's one of the reasons that you can achieve those levels of returns on smaller capital bases, is because we're using the same amount of capital day in and day out. It's earning more and more on the same capital. As a business owner, it's great when you have a piece of machinery and you've got capacity on the machinery, and perhaps you can double your output without actually increasing your expenses. You can increase your revenue off of that one piece of machinery. That's really what we're doing. Our capital is a piece of machinery that we're just going to use over and over and over again, and we're just going to milk it so that we can earn as much as possible. Now, I'm also a big believer that no matter how confident I am in the overall forecast, that there are always unexpected occurrences. There's always things that happen. So I like to throw in an allowance for a 15% slippage on that forecast. Heck, we might blow right through the forecast for all I know. We may come up short. But if I want a realistic goal for myself to say, this is my business and where do I think I can be at the end of 2019 based on the smallest unit of trade size, like 1 contract on NQ, then I can scale up if I want to earn more. But I just factor in a 15% slippage on the forecast. And so that says, you know, perhaps we could be somewhere around 133,875. If our original forecast number was right, but we slipped a little bit, because we had some unexpected setbacks, but that's still a huge number against $16,000 of capital. Now here's the other thing. I can scale that again. And I'm going to talk about scaling here in just a moment, but I can scale up and I can increase the amount of profits, the actual dollar amount of my profits for the year based on how much I'm willing to scale. So bottom line here is forecasting helps you evaluate each trading method you've used or are considering using and make adjustments so that you can improve and expand your performance. You know, back in my corporate days, we always had an underperforming office or an underperforming unit. And that didn't mean that we had to make them all go away. That didn't mean that they were all bad. It meant that we had to figure out what did they need to learn, what investments did we need to make in them in order for their performance to rise up to the same level that everybody else was at. So I apply the same level or same approach of forecasting and evaluating to my business here and to each of the trading services that we offer. It creates a basis for tracking your performance. If you want to hit, say, $150,000 for the year in 2019, you're going to be able to track yourself month to month or quarter to quarter to see whether or not you're actually on pace. And if you're not, do your own relook and say, well, what needs to adjust? This is really about proactively managing your business instead of just kind of letting it run and you're just kind of following along. And don't forget to build in paydays for yourself. If you want to earn, if your forecast says $150,000 is what you're going to earn, decide how much of that you want to leave in your account to grow your account so that you can access bigger trades, and how much of it do you want to pull out and put in cash so that you can actually go enjoy yourself. It's all about kind of knowing where you want to go, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this quote before, but if you don't know where you want to go, then it doesn't really matter which path you take. And that's a quote by Lewis Carroll from Alice in Wonderland. I really want to know where I desire to go so that I can measure whether or not I'm making progress towards that goal. Now, I want to talk just a little bit more, we're almost done here, but I want to talk a little bit more about scalability of your trade commitment because it's such an important part of your overall business growth. All of the services benefit from not only recycling the capital, but they benefit from scaling the size of the trade based on your personal account size, because you don't want to overextend your account, based on your personal risk tolerance, what's your comfort level in terms of risking more, and based on your knowledge and experience level. Don't let your trading get ahead of your knowledge and experience. If you want to try something and you think you have a good grasp of it, shift to a simulated or virtual trading mode and validate your knowledge and understanding in a risk-free environment so that you have programmed your understanding without putting your money at risk. Adding contracts when you're ready can have a significant impact. And I'm just giving you an example here using NQ futures as an example, because it's what we're trading actively all day long in the live trading room. We're also trading options, but you know, we have a lot of emphasis on NQ futures as our way of showing an example of what can be accomplished with the AO entry-exit strategy. So 20 points per day. Now remember, even with the 3-month average, we're just under 27 points. We're right at about 27 points. So I'm saying, what if you earn 20 points per day? Each point is worth $20, and there are 20 trading days in a month. So if you traded one contract, 20 points per day, $20 a point for 20 trading days, you can make $8,000 a month. But when you are ready, because your account size has grown and you feel confident with what you're doing, that same 20 points per day, that same 20 points per contract, $20 per point, sorry, and that same 20 trading days, just adding one additional contract becomes $16,000 a month. So the thing I like about the scalability of what we do is you can, in this example, potentially double your income without doing any additional units of work. There's no additional work that you need to do. You're going to click the mouse the same number of times. You're going to choose the same trades. It's just that you're going to trade 2 contracts instead of 1 contract. And then there's an error here on the slide. I'll point it out to you here in just a minute. I just realized that. 20 points per day at $20 per point times 20 trading days. If you get up to 5 contracts, it's $40,000 a month. And this is supposed to be 20 contracts. You know, that's a pretty heavy number, but there's an error here. This should be 20 contracts. And that would end up being $160,000 a month. Now, it's not that I'm trying to encourage you to jump to 5 contracts or jump to 20 contracts. I'm not trying to suggest that you do anything other than what you are personally comfortable with. But scaling the size of your trade is something that you should consider in each 12-month evaluation when you do your personal 12-month review. Simply adding 1 contract per year has significant potential for financial and lifestyle freedom. So if 2018 was your first year of trading and you're really confident with what you're doing, maybe 2019 you want to trade 2 contracts. Maybe 2020, if you're still trading, you want to trade 3 contracts. And you can start to see how that simple, very, very simple approach gives you significant scalability in terms of achieving your own financial and lifestyle freedom. So, apologize for this. I'm going to, yep, so, okay, we'll leave that alone. All right, so that's the impact of scalability and why scalability is so important. And I'm using NQ Futures as an example, but the same thing applies to the Profit Optimizer service. We're going to be using a $3,000 capital commitment. Some of you might want to do more than that. Some of you might want to do less than that. You're going to have to make those decisions. We can't make those decisions for you. So just real quick, this is not a program that we promote significantly, but there are a small number of you who are participating, and it's called the Graduated Return Income Program. We offer a limited availability program that has a graduated fixed rate of return to it. So it's not tied to the fluctuations in the market. It's not subject to huge drawdowns if the market is selling off. It starts with participants, much like in 2018, earning around 8% per year, and the return graduates up to a maximum of 15%, and it all depends on how long you've been in the program and how much capital you have actually committed to the program. The rate graduates each year up to a 15% annualized return. So we have some people who are at 15% return, and that's a really nice return. Again, it's not tied to market risk. It's not tied to fluctuations in the market. So it's a graduated fixed return income program. Minimum capital participation for this program is $100,000. So I won't spend a lot of time on this, but if you have any interest in this, just email me directly, and you can email me at mark@scmginvestments.com. All right, so I'm concluding here. This is my opinion, folks, and I'm going to share it with you. I'm just going to give you my opinion. The best opportunity for 2019 is to join the live trading room. Now, that's a sales pitch, absolutely, but I know that most every one of you is looking for a way to expand, grow, or shift your trading to a more successful level. The live trading room allows full market day access to our coaching team, Michael, Aaron, and me. It allows you to follow live AO strategy trades on futures and options. It includes the AO strategy education model. That's included in a subscription to Live Trading Room. It includes the Profit Optimizer trades. It includes Freedom 5 trades, and it includes access to our community-wide Q&A twice a month. Now, we have held the price for the Live Trading Room at $395 for a while now. So the price is actually increased as of January 1st to $595. That increase does not affect anybody who's currently a subscriber. Anybody who's currently a subscriber is grandfathered at the $395. But even $595, in my opinion, is still an outstanding value when you look at the potential based on the forecast. So here's my offer to you folks, if you're really serious about wanting to do something in 2019. If you sign up for the Live Trading Room before this coming Monday, January 14th, you can also be grandfathered in at $395 per month. Now that $395 is going to be locked for you, assuming a continuous renewal subscription. So it renews month to month to month. Anytime you can cancel that, you don't have to renew. There's no obligation. There are no refunds for a partial month, but you can just discontinue. But then if you join again 2 or 3 months later, the price is $595. So $395 for a continuous subscription, you're saving a couple $100 there on a monthly basis. So again, sign up before January 14th, save $200 a month. You get access to real-time futures and options trading and education. You're only going to pay $395 a month to invest in your trading business and watch your trading business grow. And just, do me a favor and compare that small expense to your personal profit forecast for 2019. I know many of you are going to spend some time putting that together for yourselves. To access that, take advantage of that offer, you can go to the link www.optionsmoneymaker.com/futures, and you can select option 2 for the Live Trading Room only. There are other options. You can read about those. Some of them include other education programs, but what I'm really suggesting, recommending for anybody who is serious about wanting to trade and make 2019 your banner year, the Live Trading Room, Michael and Aaron are just outstanding in terms of their knowledge level, expertise, and their willingness and ability to help guide you to success if you pay attention. And it's just, for $395 a month, you just get a ton of access to profitable trades. So that's it. I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm going to be here along with Michael and Aaron to take any questions that you may have. Aaron, Michael,
Yep.
you have any out there?
Yes. So one of the questions is from Phil. Was the NQ system back tested, especially when the VIX was less than 17? And we traded when the VIX was less than 17 in September. That's when our performance starts, the tracking performance that we have available on the website, as Mark mentioned, to anybody that can view that. And the low in September of the VIX, of the volatility, was at 11, just a little over 11.
Mark Stevens asking, is the NQ profit before or after commission?
Yeah, that's before commissions. Commissions are pretty small on that. That depends on which broker you're with, but the broker that we trade with, commissions are pretty small.
TJ is asking, what other software platforms besides the AO do you use to trade? So it really depends on the program that you're a part of. And Profit Builder Plus, we use just really a bar chart that you can get from most people. We use TradingView in Profit Builder Plus, and so we're using moving averages, Bollinger Bands, AO and stochastics. You'll see the AO and the stochastics in the live trading room. And then we also use Able Trend, which is a separate software in the live trading room as well.
Mark, Eric's asking, in the trading room, are you calling out all the futures trades that produce the returns you presented?
Yes. Yes, we're very clear about wanting to maintain a level of transparency with that. So there are far more trades than we track that are called out, but most all of those are options trades. So we're using NQ as a way to track performance and demonstrate the profound integrity of the AO entry exit strategy. But Michael's also taking SPY trades. You were trading SPY a bit this week, right, Michael?
Yes.
And SPX trades. So there are other trades, but this is really zeroing in on NQ. And if you want to focus on one thing, listen in to Erin in the live trading room when she's calling out those NQ trades. Those are the trades that we are tracking in the spreadsheet.
TJ is asking, why not trade RTY?
You can. There's nothing wrong with trading it. RTY is a futures contract on the Russell 2000. The AO entry exit strategy works just as well on that as it does on NQ. We just wanted to focus on one particular futures contract. Otherwise, it gets a little cumbersome. Plus, remember, we're trading live accounts, so we're using NQ as our example.
Kevin's asking, what are the key differences between stock index options and index future contracts? How much time, how many trades per day are required to achieve between the mid to high range returns on the AO futures strategy?
I apologize, Erin. I was reading another question, trying to get ahead of you. Was that question for me?
Yes, it's from Kevin. What are the key differences between stock index options and index future contracts, and how much time, how many trades per day are required to achieve between the mid to high range returns on the AO futures strategy?
Well, so stock and index options, one of the major drawbacks to very short-term trading for stock and index options is time value decay. So you have to go out quite a ways, and to me quite a ways is maybe a week or 2 weeks, to trade a stock or index option. And you're always fighting time value decay. One of the other drawbacks, by the way, we like trading stock and index options. So when I say a drawback, it's not intended to imply that we don't want to trade them or we don't like them. But one of the drawbacks also is the size of your account. You have to maintain a minimum of a $25,000 account balance in order to trade actively on stock and index options, because there are rules around being day traders. Whereas with futures contracts, there is no time value decay. You're actually trading a contract that the way the futures market is structured, they want you to be out of that trade today. In fact, there's a disincentive to hold the contract overnight. You want to be in and out of that contract today. And there's no time value decay. There is no requirement for a minimum account size as a day trader, other than the broker requires a minimum of a $3,000 account size to start, to open. And then in terms of how many trades per day, Erin, I think you're averaging 12 or 13 trades a day on futures.
That sounds about right. Maybe getting up to 14, but yeah, just around there. 12 to 14.
Right around that, in the low teens.
Yes.
That's the number of trades that we are averaging per day. So if you take fewer trades and you have fewer points of profit, you should still have a reasonable performance. It may not be up to the same level as our performance, because Erin is committed to it all day long, and you might not have that amount of time, Kevin. You might want to devote an hour or 2 hours. to the live trading room. So, there will be a proportionate achievement of success based on that.
Mark, Mike's asking, when and why did you stop tracking the NDX in the AO in the trading room?
Oh, well, we didn't. So what we shared, Mike, and we have to be careful in how we share things because we try not to share things as an absolute. What we announced when Michael and I were in the live trading room, Aaron was away at the tail end of the holidays, is that for that day, and I think we announced it each day, we were not looking at NDX that day. We were tracking NQ exclusively. Now, there's a lot of value in also looking at NDX, and Aaron is looking at it in the background, but what we have decided to do is to take that chart off on Michael's screen because we have a limited amount of screen space, and we think that there are a couple of time periods that are more valuable to show. But when Aaron is identifying trades, she's also looking at NDX. I think you had a trade today that you wavered on because NDX hadn't confirmed. So
Correct.
That's still part of the strategy, Mike, and we didn't mean to imply that it was gone completely. There are many people who will only focus on NQ. When Erin is calling out trades, she's looking for a coordination between NQ and NDX.
Kenneth is asking, what is the recommended platform to trade futures? I've never traded futures before. We recommend the Infinity Futures platform. That's what we trade on. It's one of the easiest ways, in my opinion, to trade futures.
It's got a great platform, Kenneth. It's just so easy to use that platform. The people that we work with are just outstanding. Plus, be careful when you set up a futures trading account. I would invite you to call a few brokers and see what the requirements are. The range of the capital requirement per trade can be from a low of where we are, $500 per trade, to as much as I've heard some brokers charge $3,500 per trade. And that, in terms of leverage, just gives you a lot less opportunity. So we love the broker that we're at, Infinity Futures, and you can reach out and talk to Glenn at Infinity Futures. If you sign up for a program, in the welcome letter, all of his contact information is there, but you can look up their website too if you want to get ahead of the curve.
Jim's asking, does the live trading room only selection give access to the AO strategy training? So if you sign up for the live trading room only, does that give you access to the AO?
Yes, it does. So option 2 on the link that I shared, optionsmoneymaker.com/futures, options 2 is for the live trading room subscription only, and that includes the AO strategy training.
Wilson is asking, instead of mostly NQ trades, will you have more trades on SPX option trades during the live trading room? So we do alert or announce both options and NQ trades, but something that you need to think about is that NQ future trades were in and out fairly quickly. So we're not in a long and a short position at the same time on NQ, while options trades are held just for a longer time generally than the futures trades. And so therefore capital is tied up in that. And so there just generally won't be as much options trades as there are futures trades, just due to how capital works with futures versus options. But if you're in the live trading room, that means you get access to the Profit Optimizer room each morning, where as long as we find a valid entry, we'll be alerting a SPX option trade. And then, of course, if Michael identifies a better or good entry later on in the live trading room, he'll call out option trades there as well.
Let's see.
I can go, Michael, if you're
Yeah,
looking.
yeah.
Um,
When you delete it, loses it. I can't find it again.
I know. Mario's asking if utilizing AO strategy for Freedom 5, will futures be traded within the Freedom 5 trades?
The current plan is not to use futures with Freedom 5 because it's very difficult to alert a futures trade, and the Freedom 5 program is an alert service. There's a delay between when we open the trade or close the trade, getting the alert out, which is a matter of moments, but your ability to respond. And that's not an effective approach for futures trading. So that's not in the cards right now.
So Kenneth's asking, can you pay for only the AO NQ futures trading room, or is it all conducted from the same room at one set price?
The live trading room is all encompassing. It includes Freedom 5, it includes Profit Optimizer, and it includes the AO trades that Aaron's calling out. So that's all included in the $395.
Daniel's asking, how long are you in an NQ trade? Well, it varies. We'll never hold one overnight. Honestly, sometimes it's a few seconds. Other times it can be an hour. It's just going to vary on the technical signals and the movement that we're seeing. And I know I saw a question here somewhere about holding a futures trade overnight. We don't hold a futures trade overnight because well, one, we're not open overnight to let you know the action that we're taking. And then also it changes the margin requirement when you hold a futures trade overnight.
Jake's asking, can I trade the AO to AO in the overnight session? Yeah, you can do that, Jake. Yes.
Yeah, it's a little different action in the overnight session, but the overnight session starts at 6 p.m. Eastern and then runs until 5 p.m. The following day Eastern. It's a little different action. The movement may not be as consistent, but the strategy itself, indicating the entry and exit, is still exactly what we use during the regular session.
TJ is asking, do you ever average down into a trade to adjust your cost basis?
On options trades, periodically. On futures trades, no. I mean, there's no reason you can't do it other than it adds a level of complexity that I think most of our traders are not ready to handle just yet, because the AO entry exit strategy is relatively new. You're really better off, in my opinion, to keep the AO entry exit strategy kind of a pure strategy. You get in and you get out. There are certain parameters to get out, certain parameters to get in, and use those, and you're going to be out for a loss, you're going to be out for a profit, and then you move on to the next trade. And Kevin's asking, can I take exactly the same AO trades called out in the trade room? Absolutely. If you listen to Erin, she's calling out the trade. She's going to tell you when she's short or long on the NQ. She's going to tell you what price she ended up getting filled at. And the DOM, the trading platform that we use with Infinity Futures, is so easy to enter a trade. It's literally just a one-click trade. If Erin says, I'm going short, you're just going to click sell on the DOM, and you're going to sell at market. Very little slippage. It's unusual to have bigger amounts of slippage, but you're going to get filled at whatever it is, and then you're going to take yourself out of that trade for a profit or a loss. Majority of ours are for a profit.
James is asking, do we need to purchase AO software of some kind? I don't know what that is. So AO is the Awesome Oscillator. That's the actual name of it, is Awesome Oscillator. It's on the majority of charting platforms such as eSignal, TradingView, even possibly if you have options account, you might have a charting service through your broker as well. Kimberly's asking what computer specs are needed to start. I mean, I don't have anything very powerful on my end.
Just
Um,
buy a computer.
I have just a PC. It was actually a pretty inexpensive PC that I purchased. It's you just need something. You don't need something extensive like a high RAM or a high memory space on the computer. Now, majority of programs prefer PC Windows versus a Mac, but you can always use Parallels type software on a Mac to run PC programs.
Unless you have a computer that's 10 years old, then yeah, anything you buy in the last 3 or 4 years is fine for what we run.
Just a quick comment from Mario about Infinity Futures. He says he's been running Infinity Futures demo for a couple of weeks. It's very powerful. Glenn, who's our primary contact, has been great to work with, very responsive if he has any questions. So platform's quick and easy to learn.
Bob's asking, are the majority of the AO trades before 12 Eastern, can it be profitable if closed down before 12?
Well, the majority of the trades aren't necessarily before 12, but can it be profitable if I close down before 12? So here's the thing, Bob. We have a lot of people in the live trading room who will send us a comment and just say, hey, I'm up 500 for the day. It's 11 o'clock. I'm done. I'm going to hang out and play with my grandkids, or I'm going to go play a round of golf or something. We have people who have specific daily goals, and when they hit that daily goal, they're done trading for the day. There are situations where you could hit that daily goal in the first 15 minutes of the market, first half hour of the market. We've had situations like that. And then there are other days that just feel like they're sluggish, where you've got I don't know, 10 points by noon, and then all of a sudden, and I heard Michael, you and Aaron talking about this today, all of a sudden there's a big move in the last hour of the market, and there's a 100-point move. So they come at any time during the day. But you can be very successful at most any time you sign in to the live trading room if you want to trade for a limited amount of time.
Bob's asking, can you be in and out of a futures trade in one day without the $25,000 minimum balance? Yeah, you can, Bob, because trading futures does not have day trade requirements. You just have to have what the broker requires is $3,000 in the account to start the account, and then it's $500 margin is what it is per trade or
With Infinity.
per contract, and that's with Infinity.
Ruben's asking for NQ futures. Is Thinkorswim broker okay? That's really a decision for you. As Mark said earlier, you may want to compare margin requirements and fees before you decide on a broker. There is a reason that we recommend Infinity, but there are plenty of traders that use Thinkorswim, but really that's going to be up to you and based on what you're comfortable using.
Kenneth is saying, can you explain what I'll receive if I select option number 3 from the link instead of option 2? Right now, Kenneth, I don't recall which is option 3.
I have it up.
What is it, Aaron?
It's purchase the AO entry exit strategy training only.
Okay, so with that, that's just the training, and I think you get, is it a week, Aaron? Would include.
It's just the training, it looks like.
Okay, so that does not include any access to the live trading room. So that's if you want to go it alone. You just want to learn the strategy and then go out and trade on your own. We make it available. It's certainly not the option that I would recommend, but that is available. There's no access to the live trading room with that.
Todd is asking, what about charting software? We use eSignal and we use TradingView in some of our programs, but mostly what you'll see in the live trading room is eSignal, is what we profile in the room.
And AbleTrend, but
yeah, AbleTrend software.
AbleTrend is a much more robust and more expensive software program, which you don't need immediately to start out. And it's something that as your business grows, you can invest in later. But eSignal is an option for what we do. That's what you're going to see, as Michael said, in the live trading room. And also, if you do end up trading at Infinity, there's a charting service called Sierra Charts that you could actually get for free if you have enough trades to justify it. Otherwise, I think it's $20 a month. So that's something that you can talk to Glenn about also.
And then Tanja is also asking, what is the minimum capital? I think we already answered what is the cost of the other tools. But what's the minimum capital? It's going to depend on if you're talking about futures or options, and it's really going to depend on your broker. As we mentioned, $3,000 is the minimum account size requirement for Infinity to open up a futures account.
Yeah, so it would be $3,000 to open an account at Infinity. If you want to trade options with the Profit Optimizer service, also you need an options trading account. That's separate from your futures trading account. And we are trading, as we said, $3,000 capital commitment. So you need a little bit more than $3,000 in that account. Futures might be a way to get started with that, and then you can add other things later. And I want to address this because I saw the question earlier, and I didn't get to it, but somebody asked if the Profit Optimizer service ever had a negative balance to it where we needed to add more funds during the year. And the answer to that is no. No, we had losses, but they came after we had achieved profits, and so we didn't have that situation.
Phil is asking, how do you deal with slippage on NQ? Do you consider ES or crude? You can trade this AO strategy on ES and on crude and on options, so it's very applicable to different equities. And then slippage on NQ, honestly, it's only been maybe a couple times that really slippage I've noticed. Otherwise, you get in pretty close to the entry, at least in my experience.
I don't think slippage is a factor. You know, it is what it is, and you might just have a smaller profit on that trade, but it's really not a factor.
Andre's asking, do you what is your stop loss?
Well, that will vary by trade. We have some techniques that we use for that. You can use a fixed stop based on your account size, or you can use a variable stop when Aaron and Michael do a good job during the day of identifying where their stop is on each individual trade. We also have an email coming out beginning of next week that will announce a enhancement training webinar for the AO strategy, some things that we've refined a little bit more that we want to share with you. If you are already live trading room subscriber, or if you've purchased the AO or futures education programs, then it's no charge to attend. So we'll be announcing a date for that sometime at the beginning of next week.
TJ's asking, do you sell options only when they're with a bought option? So we do not open up, we do not do sell just a short on its own.
We don't trade naked options.
Thank you.
Kevin's asking, can I take exactly the same AO trades called out in the trade room? Absolutely. We have a lot of folks that do that.
Michael's asking, will we be trading the full cycles again from AO to AO? Well, we're doing that now, Michael. It's just that we are choosing to exit for a profit when we have it locked in and we see other signals telling us that the price may be reversing. And then as long as that cycle continues, we're using continuation trades. It's all part of what we taught in the futures trading education program. So using a continuation trade, and Aaron does quite a bit of those, is just a different variation of trading the full AO to AO cycle. Let me just make a global statement here, just a broad statement too, is when people have a lot of questions about, what's my drawdown going to be? What could I expect to achieve? How much time do I have to spend? How can I know how many points that I'm going to achieve? And I see some of those questions out here. My very simple answer is you should set up a futures trading account and trade in simulation mode for 30 to 90 days. You should trade in a simulation mode without real money for 30 to 90 days. I am 100% certain that the majority of the questions that you have as they relate to your specific account, the size of your account, your comfort level with understanding, and as it relates to how much you can make, those questions are going to be answered through your own experience. But you can sit in on the live trading room, follow along with our trades, and you're going to gain a wealth of experience and knowledge, but don't risk real money until you have traded for a minimum of 30 days in a virtual simulated environment. And the really neat thing about the Infinity Futures trading platform is their simulated trading environment is exactly like their real trading environment. So you get very comfortable with it, you get used to it, and you learn how all of that's going to work relative to your account.
Robert is asking, when is Profit Builder available and what's the cost? It's currently available. You can join at any time. You go to our website and click on what we offer. You'll see our current programs, and Profit Builder Plus is right on there. And it's currently being offered at $597 for 6 months. And then you can, if you buy now, you can get a free 6 months. Gary is asking about, is there an easy way to place entering and exiting trades for a Profit Optimizer in order to be in almost at the same time as Michael is? So I highly encourage you to have your options chain open and ready when the Profit Optimizer room starts. Shortly before the Profit Optimizer room starts, Michael will discuss what expiration he's trading, so you can have your option chain open to that expiration. Then Michael will announce what strike he is considering, so you can pull up that strike. And then he'll let you know what price he's sending at. And of course, based on the Profit Optimizer education, we say that you can fill up to about, I think it's 30 cents, correct, Mark, away from our entry?
Yes.
30 cents away from our entry. So if you're not filled immediately when we are, you can always work your order a little bit higher. It is... you need to be able to be familiar with your platform in order to modify your order pretty quickly. So it's one of those things that when you send your order, at least on E-Trade, I would be clicking modify order right away if I am not filled. It's not something I would just wait and let sit out there to be filled if Michael is already in the trade.
Phil's asking, wait, make a statement. I'm seriously considering joining the room. Our trades called out in advance with specific entries. I could not imagine getting filled anywhere close to you guys, and therefore my results would not come close to yours. Please correct me if I'm thinking incorrect. Your results for October and November were staggering. Phil, if like Mark has suggested, Mark, you finish this, but yes, I think if you pay attention and you have to focus on what we're saying, you have to focus on the charts, you can't get distracted, but sim trading will, you have no risk if you sim trade for 30, 90 days. And then that'll tell you for sure if you can see that it's very doable. Because we give warning. I mean, there's warning that comes, but we always say, hey, we got a countdown clock we watch. There's a lot of things we watch to prepare you for that. But like I said, I mean, you have to be listening and really paying attention.
And if
So,
you have taken the AO course, which if you're in the live trading room, you'll have immediate access to, you'll have the knowledge of what we're looking for too. And as Michael said, we let you know about a setup so you can get ready to go.
And it's pretty simple, Phil. We say short and long. That's it. You're either short or we're long. And it's very simple. But like I said, Mark is going to, I'll let you talk, Mark. I'll stop.
well, I'll just chime in and say that a lot of times during the day, I'm working on other things at my desk, and I have the live trading room on, and I'm listening to Aaron and Michael. And when I hear Aaron say, hey, we might be setting up to go short here, I'll look at my charts. And she says, I'm going short. I may click at the same time as her. She calls out the price, and I might be within one tick or two ticks from her fill. I might not get exactly the same fill, but when you say that you can't imagine getting fills anywhere close to you guys, I think that that is something you're going to find through experience that is not true, that you can get filled very, very close. Every once in a while, we get filled at exactly the same price, even though, you know, she's calling it out. Sometimes I get a favorable fill, sometimes she gets a favorable fill, but the differences between those fills are not significant. They certainly are not going to drive a significant difference in your performance versus ours. Just scanning questions here, folks, just to see if there's anything that we may have missed in terms of topics. Cheryl saying, Aaron and Michael do a great job in the live trading room. I'm still trying to gain some consistency in the AO strategy. Market's all over the place right now. Can you tell me what the market was like in October? Not specifically, Cheryl. I mean, you can go back and look at volatility, and you can look at range of movement and all that. But my message to you, I think, is more present, and that is be patient with yourself. And if you feel like you are looking for a level of consistency, shift to, if you're not already, shift to a simulated trading platform for a period of time. And if you are looking for specific answers during the live trading room, just ask Michael and Aaron, you know, if there's something you want to know about a specific trade. If there's something you don't understand about why we took a trade, so that you understand why Aaron took a trade or didn't take a trade, just ask. We'll be happy to help you as much as we can. And then while you guys are looking at maybe a couple of other questions, Gerard says, in assessment of the Freedom 5 program, what strategy did you use and what did you find was the flaw in the strategy that contributed to the losses? Well, it was a kind of a deep dive evaluation, Gerard, so I'm not going to go into all of that here, but more importantly, what we concluded was that with the proven success and power of the AO strategy, that applying it to the same types of opportunities that Freedom 5 was seeking, I think will change that outcome. Again, no guarantees of that, but that's what we fully intend. So I went back and I rewound to certain time periods looking at the AO entry exit strategy against Freedom 5 trades, and the outcome was hugely different in a very positive way. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. And then last question, and then Michael and Aaron, if you have something else, great. Sorry, I can't pronounce your name. Farabors is asking, what are the AO results in January? So we got off to a little bit of a slow start in January. We had a couple of losing days. Actually, you can tell who is relatively new. If you have a losing day, they get a little freaked out. And I'm just telling you, you should not be emotional about your trading. If you are, you should do it in a simulated mode until you kind of quiet that down and understand a little bit more about what you're doing. But we're right at about break even here for the first few trading days of January right now. Is that right, Aaron?
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Yep. So we've had some winning days, some losing days, and we don't look at it as a big deal because we look at January as a continuation. January is our 5th month. So it's just a continuation of what we've been doing. So, maybe January will be the weakest month we've had so far. Maybe the last part of January will end up coming on really strong, and it'll blend right into the average of those September, November, and December months, but we don't know yet.
And then somebody asked what the performance was today. I can't find that question, but someone asked what's today's performance for NQ, and it was 27.25 points. And for those of you that are relatively new to futures, and that means absolutely nothing to you, it's at $20 a point for NQ, so that's $545 today on just one contract.
Kevin's asking, if I join the trading room, will I be shown how to configure my screen and indicators and etc.? I'm going to say yes, but I will direct you, Kevin, to whatever platform you have. If you've got Sierra charts, they've got videos to look at that. eSignal's got technical help, but I will help you as much as I possibly can, because my number one goal is to trade and then help that we help as many people as we can. But yes, as much as I can.
And Kevin, you can just ask in the live trading room if your technical indicator on your chart doesn't appear to be in line with what you're seeing on Michael's charts. You just ask, and Michael's happy to share with you the settings. But in terms of a individual coaching or training session to get your chart set up, we don't do that, but we do it in the context of the live trading room.
Tim is asking for trading the profit optimizer, which I have had a winning trade every day since I started. Do you ever trade SPY instead? It's not something that we have done. It's not something that I'll say that we'll never do, but generally we're focused on SPX.
Tim, we're trying to keep profit optimizer very, very simple. It's a repetitive process. First 15 minutes of the day, an SPX call or an SPX put. We buy to open, and we try to close it during that 15-minute session. We're not trying to get fancy or complicated there. We do call out in that session a futures trade. Aaron's there also. If there is the beginning of a futures cycle on NQ, Aaron will call that out, but our first priority is the SPX call or put option.
Wilson's asking, how do I learn more about the style of futures trades? What broker offers sim trades in futures? We use Infinity, Wilson. I think it's one of the best sim platforms I've ever seen. It's just like the real trading platform. You would think you're live if you didn't know, if it was just a different color, but it acts and reacts the same exact way as a live trading. And that's why Mark really emphasizes to do that. But Infinity Futures is who we use. We use Glenn over there at Infinity.
Brent's saying on AO, using 30-point stop, is there some way to add a contract if the trade goes against you to lessen the overall loss? Well, first of all, you're not necessarily guaranteed to lessen the overall loss. If the trade's gone 30 points against you, there's a high probability that you might want to take the trade off. There's probably something on the chart, on the AO technical indicator, saying we shouldn't be in this trade anymore and you should just take the trade off. But to answer a different way, a different part of your question, you can always add contracts. If you start the trade off with one contract, you can always add another contract, but it starts to add a level of complexity, and I strongly encourage you not to do that until you've traded this strategy for a minimum of 90 days in a simulated environment, and that you've done that multiple times so you understand how it impacts your account. Dwayne wants to know, how many screens do you need to trade Profit Optimizer, Freedom 5, and AO? Well, Michael has a special arrangement with the power company in his area based on the number of screens he has, but you don't need separate screens for all of those services. You need to have your futures trading platform open and your options trading platform open along with your charts. And different people do it different ways. I've got 2 screens. Michael's got, I don't know, what do you got, 30?
Seven.
7.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron's got a couple of screens.
But I'm OCD. I don't like everything on top of each other. That's why I like every screen to be neat and separate. So it's just a personal thing.
You can trade futures and AO all on one screen. It is possible. That's what I do. I do use, though, a separate screen for options just so I can have that up at the same time.
Aaron, David has a question. How do you gauge the importance of agreement between NDX and NQ in a given trade?
I mean, I trade what we teach, so I'm pretty much looking for that alignment. It may get overridden by if all the other signals that we're looking at in the live trading room are in agreement. But generally, I'm looking for NDX and NQ to be in alignment with each other.
Kimberly, I saw your comment about, it's going to take you a little while to get your account set up. Shoot Dorothy an email about that, and we'll work with you on that. Okay.
TJ's asking, we're bang for the buck with options than futures. It just depends on what trading strategy or style you're looking for. Options are generally, you can hold them longer. So if you're one of those people that maybe just doesn't want to be as active trader and you want to open up a position and let it ride for a little bit, then options is going to be really a better bang for your buck there. But it really depends on what style of trader that you are. Now, futures in general can have, I guess it depends on what strategy you're trading in options, but can have less capital requirement, less margin requirement than options.
Gadari, I think it's a little premature to talk about pricing for 2020 for next year, so we won't address that right now.
Phil, I don't think any of us can speak to TradeStation or NinjaTrader. I believe the only platform that we've traded on is Infinity. Well, at least for me. Michael or Mark, have you traded on anything besides Infinity?
Not for futures, no.
Not for futures, no.
Okay.
Alan, I see your question here. And what I would like you to do, Alan, is to send an email with that question to bob@optionsmoneymaker.com.
Edward's asking what NQ trading symbol do you use? So it's NQ, and it's going to vary based on the quarter. So it's going to vary based on the month. So our current month, can one of you help me out? It's NQ.
It's H19 right now. We're in the March contracts.
Thank you.
But we'll tell you in the live trading room when to change the contract. Doug is one of our live trading room members. He's just pointing out an important point that regarding the charting software that we use in the live trading room, you get access to Michael's charts. So if you want to just start out without your own charts, you get to see his charts, and then you can make that investment in your charts when you're ready to.
Mario is also making a statement about the live trading room, almost in response to someone's question earlier. If you are focused on it, on the live trading room, it's easy to get into the same trades that Aaron and Michael get into within a quarter of a point or so, sometimes better, sometimes not.
Yeah, you've got a couple of questions out here about, does AO outperform Able Trend? Not necessarily, but we are very focused on the AO. Michael is very focused on Able Trend also. So they both are excellent ways to trade. But we have adopted the AO strategy with NQ because it's really a very simple way to identify a trade. So it's not necessarily one outperforms the other. And then to your other question, it sounds like trading options is more problematic than futures. Why trade options? We never said they're problematic. I don't believe they're problematic. It's just there's a different structure to trading them. So you have to just pay attention. It's just a different way of trading.
I saw a question. Where did it go? Kenneth is asking, when trading futures, are you using puts and calls like options? Yes, but they're not called puts or calls. They're called buying and selling, which is essentially puts and calls. So you're buying or selling, you're long or short. So what you'll hear us call out in the live trading room is I'm long at, and so you'd be buying there, or I'm short at, and you'd be selling there.
Levon's saying, I know you mentioned that you would not leave a futures trade overnight, but can you treat futures like options and let it ride if futures trade turned against you? So here's the thing, Levon. I don't think you want to do that. I think you want to take the futures trade off and reassess what you want to do. With Infinity, and numbers at different brokers may be different, but to hold a trade for the day and not overnight, you need $500 of capital per contract. To hold a trade overnight, you need $6,500 of capital in your account per contract. It's a big difference. And you don't know when you say you want to let it ride if it moves against you. You're hoping that it's going to reverse, but that may not be the case. And that gets into a level of trading that you're way better off just to say, I'm going to take the loss on this trade and I'm going to wait for the next good trade setup. We have, and you can look at our tracking and performance that Aaron updates every day online. We have losing trades and we have winning trades. We have far more winning trades than we have losing trades. So let's not get preoccupied with a losing trade. Let's just take our loss because the signals say it's time to do that, and let's move on to the next trade opportunity.
Kevin is asking, if I sign up for the live trading room today or tomorrow, can I start Monday? So if you sign up for the live trading room tonight, you're going to receive an email pretty quickly after you sign up, giving you the link to register for the live trading room. So if you sign up tonight, you would get the access for tomorrow. If you sign up Sunday, then you'll get access for Monday. So we have it automated, so you should receive a link when you sign up. You also receive how to access our website, your username and password, and there is a tutorial video too on how to navigate the website, where you can also find the links for the live trading room. So if you sign up tonight and don't want to start for Monday, that's fine too. Then tomorrow afternoon, you'll receive an email from Dorothy with next week's links, and then they'll also be available on our website.
I think we're going to wind down here. There's just a couple remaining questions, and Michael and Aaron, if you see one that maybe hasn't been addressed, let me know. But Ed's saying, is there any reason to think a market change could reduce effectiveness of the AO strategy? Not in my opinion, Ed. We've seen volatility extremes in the last few weeks. We've seen lower levels of volatility. So sometimes you're going to have periods of time where the market is just in kind of a it's in a mode that you just want to sit on the sidelines. It doesn't mean that the AO strategy isn't working. It means I'm just going to take a pause for a minute and I want to wait for the next best setup. Yesterday, actually, at the beginning of the day, was one of those situations where, oh my gosh, you know, it was hugely up, hugely down, hugely up, hugely down, and we opted really to just kind of sit on the sidelines and wait for that to settle down a little bit. If you're patient, which I identified as one of the key success factors for traders, and you trade virtually for 30 to 90 days, you're going to know that the next good trade setup is coming. You don't need to jump in to everything that even hints at a good trade. You just wait for the best setups. And the last question I'll answer, and then I'll see if you guys have anything. But Phil is saying, aside from not using NDX, which we are continuing to use NDX, is there anything else that we consider in the AO method that's not necessarily listed here? So we have the benefit of having a fairly robust view of what's going on. We look at multiple time periods. Aaron's looking at 30-second charts, 1-minute charts, 5-minute charts. Michael's looking at Able Trend with a 1 3-minute time period, a 10 30-minute time period. So what we're doing is we're taking in a consensus of information. In the AO training, we have a core basis for what to look for. In the live trading room, you're going to really learn how to apply that most effectively. So there are, other fine-tuning nuances and things that you can't possibly teach every last detail, which is why I think that the live trading room is such an amazing opportunity. You get to participate in real time and listen in as we are opening trades and talking about things that you might not have picked up in the training, but they're going to be valuable parts of your experience. Guys, I don't see any other questions out there. You have anything?
I do not.
All right, so let me just close this out by saying, first of all, I have such admiration and respect and appreciation for Aaron and Michael and what they do every day. I know these two so very well. They have a genuine and sincere passion for helping people be successful at what they choose to do. That's another value, in my opinion, of the live trading room. If you're interested in putting together your own 2019 forecast and then choosing to help us help you achieve that, we'd love to have you. If you're already part of the live trading room, thank you for being there. We really appreciate you. We love interacting with you every day. It makes trading a lot of fun. Again, the opportunity here is the price has gone up as of January 1st, and we're offering the old price here for a limited amount of time. And you can go to optionsmoneymaker.com/futures, select option 2 if you want the live trading room only. There are some other options in there that you can review. Also, there's a video that you can review, and you can click a link also to view our trading performance on the spreadsheet that Aaron tracks. So thank you very much for being here. Sincerely appreciate it. Good luck to every single one of you who has a passion for achieving something really amazing during 2019. We'd love to help you do that.